I have always found organisation to be extremely overwhelming and so fucking confusing for my tiny little brain to get around. I don't know why that is, but it's something that I've always struggled with, and every time I try to get into organisation and sorting my life out and making everything really Pinterest vibes and looking good and organised, I just end up getting overstimulated and I end up just laying in bed and rotting because it's all too much for me to handle. And it is so frustrating because I know that organisation is the ultimate key to having the best glow up of your whole entire life, but it's just always been something that I have struggled to get my head around and understand up until recently. I would say the past couple of years I have been on a journey of really trying to figure out what organisation style works for me as a sensitive girly who just gets so overwhelmed by literally everything. Like day-to-day life overwhelms me so fucking much. So it has been a little bit of a journey trying to figure out organisation that actually works with my brain and that I understand, but I've finally gotten to a point where I have a lot of good tips and a lot of good mindset shifts, organisation tips, all that kind of stuff that will really help you on this journey as well if you're anything like me. I also mentioned in my last video, but I am a Virgo North Node, so if any of you guys are into astrology, you will know that your North Node is basically like your life purpose, what you need to lean into. Not really life purpose, it's just kind of like what you need to lean into in order to be in alignment with your life and be on track and feel good and have everything like working out well for you. And for me, my North Node is in Virgo, which Virgo is a very organised, very structured sign, and that is something that I really am not the best at. So when I really lean into organisation, I definitely feel such a huge burden lifted off my shoulders. I feel so much lighter, I feel so much better, and I feel so much more equipped to be able to take on my goals and achieve the life that I want to achieve. I am not joking when I say that I'm getting so serious about organisation. In fact, I've even got this pen, which isn't even a pen, it's an iPad pen, but I needed it for the effect and I literally forgot to pick it up. But here's the pen, like this is the vibes of the organisational video. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, so firstly, I would like to mention that organisation is a mindset, and for me, for the longest time, I used to really just think that organisation was a little bit pointless. Like, you know, certain organisational things that you see, like organisational tips and tricks and things like that, I always just used to think like, oh, well, it's a waste of time. Like, no organisation really works. But that was because it didn't work for me. Like, I chose the wrong techniques. I tried to do all too many things all at one time, and it was just overwhelming and it never worked for me. So in my mind, I completely wrote it off and I just kind of neglected organisation, and I put my head in the sand for quite a lot of things in life. And if you have done that before, you will know that it's fine when you're in a good mood. Like, it's fine to kind of go coasting through life, ignoring things. When you're in a good mood, on a good day, it's okay. But when the bad days inevitably come, they feel so much worse because you don't have your shit together. Like, everything is chaotic and all over the place, and it's just not, it's not a good vibe, it's not good. So I have learned the hard way that organisation is actually very simple, very effective if you know how to use it. Organisation is made to make your life easier and not harder and more restricted. That was something that I also really struggled with. Being someone who really loves freedom and like creativity and flow and feminine energy, I always felt like organisation was this restrictive thing that was going to stop me from being a free spirit and doing the things that I wanted to do, when really it's actually not. It's the framework that allows you to have a little bit of structure, to be playful and creative and in your feminine energy. It's the masculine to the feminine, and if we don't have that in our life, everything just gets too over emotional, too like crazy and chaotic, and too much to deal with, quite frankly. So if you think like that and you think that organisation is actually something that is a hindrance and a burden and a stress and just another extra job, you're not doing it right. Yeah, it takes some extra work and effort initially, but I feel like if you get the system set up in place, everything just becomes a lot easier. Secondly, I wanted to just mention how I always thought that organisational hacks and equipment, tools, I don't know what the word is, but like organisational things, I just thought that they were a waste of time and that they didn't work. work, and that again was because I tried the wrong things and they didn't really work, and I just ended up buying a load of plastic shit that didn't really work for me and it would stress me out. So then I kind of thought like, oh well, I might as well just throw everything in like one drawer or one basket, like it's all the same. It's not the same. It really is not the same. I used to get very overwhelmed with all of the organizational things that are out there and all of the different things that you can buy on Amazon, and I used to get very caught up in my head of buying the right thing and making sure that everything fit, and I would get in my head so much about like the measurements and dimensions of things and how they would fit in a certain area in my room, and I would overthink it to the point that I didn't actually do anything. I would be in that analysis paralysis cycle and I actually wouldn't be trying things and seeing what works for me, and I was in that cycle for so long, and I think it was just easier for me to think that way, to think like, oh well, these things are a waste of time and money anyway. They're not. They are truly not. I noticed this because I think it was when I bought packing cubes for my suitcase, right? And I was like, I feel like this is a waste of time, but I like the vibe of them. Like they looked quite cool and like aesthetic. I just liked the idea of them. And I bought them for my case and I was packing with them, and everything just was so much more organized, so much tidier. I could fit so much more in my case. And I couldn't get my head around the fact that this was actually like efficient in organizing your case, even though it does make sense logically, but like I just kind of didn't believe it would really make a difference because it's all going in the same space anyway. And my boyfriend was the same. He was like, that's just a waste of money, like you don't want to be buying them. Best believe I have got him converted, and he actually uses the packing cubes a lot more than me, and he loves them and swears by them. So all of this to say is that certain things do seem like a little bit of a scam, and I think in this age of people just trying to like sell you shit and like point you in the direction of their Amazon storefront, you do think like, oh my god, they're just trying to sell me things. But I do think that a lot of the things that you see for organization do actually serve a purpose, and I wouldn't turn your nose up to all of them. Like I do think it's good to just not overthink it, just try things, see what works. If it doesn't work for you, you can always give it away, or you can always just get rid of it. I know that's wasteful, but I mean, give it away to someone else will appreciate it so much. But I definitely recommend trying things like that, and also like drawer organizers, and you know, like I've got little baskets in my bathroom that I put all my toiletries in. If I don't have things in there, dividing them and like organizing them, all of the stuff just like rattles about in there and it's all chaotic and crazy, and then I end up just piling things on top of it and I don't use half of it and it looks messy. And when I have a bad day and I'm feeling overwhelmed anyway, that is all it takes sometimes. Just looking at that is all it takes to tip me over the edge, and I will be crying, screaming, throwing up, having a panic attack. So we want to avoid that. This year, I am on a mission to get as many organizational solutions as possible because I'm just addicted at this point. I feel like I've seen how they can really help me a lot and help organize a space. So now I am very much on it, and I want to get one of those little spinning things that you put like your skincare in, like, you know, your daily things that you use on a daily basis. I want to get one of those little spinning things so it's all compacted in this little round thing and it spins and it just looks a bit nicer, because at the moment all of my things are just all over, like all my shit is everywhere and I don't like it. It makes me feel very chaotic, and when my environment is chaotic, it makes me feel like my mind is even more chaotic, and that's not good because my mind is going to be chaotic anyway regardless. But if we can avoid thinking that as much, then I'm all down for that. Third tip that I'm going to share with you in order for you to get your shit together and get organized is you need to make sure that you have a place for everything, and make sure that you have space left over to fill, like you have empty space in your environment, in your drawers, whatever. This is extremely important because if you are going to be cleaning up as you go along and you want to just keep your space tidy all the time, which is something that I do really implement in my daily life. I tidy up as I go along, and when I can't, I feel stressed. Like the past few weeks, as our house has been like all packed away in boxes and under construction, it's been very stressful and I've not been able to be as organized as I want, and there was a couple of meltdowns. But if you can tidy up as you go along, it is so much easier to do that when everything has a home. Everything belongs somewhere. You know exactly where to put that thing. That hairbrush goes in there, or your TV remote goes on this certain location. Like having a home for everything. And I know this is textbook, guys, but I think sometimes you just need someone to talk it through and kind of, I don't know, speak about it, because this is what I need. I just need someone to like yap about this too in order for it to make sense in my brain and in order for it to click again in my brain. But yeah, having a place for everything has honestly made my life so much easier, and the areas of my life that don't have that at the minute, it really stresses me out. Like, it makes me feel very chaotic, very stressed and unorganized. I am on a mission to rectify that. Like, I don't want that to be my reality anymore, and I want my space to represent a calm and balanced mind. So yeah, definitely tidying as you go. That is a very, very helpful tip as well, like alongside having everything have a home, because it just allows you to stay on top of things and you're not wasting whole days on your evenings, or not on your evenings, on your weekends. You're not wasting them cleaning up, because I have done that so many times. Like, I will probably have one of those days tomorrow, I'm not gonna lie, where I am cleaning the whole entire house because it's just gotten a little bit crazy. But we don't want that. When we tidy up as we go along, it frees up so much more of our time, and it's just a lot nicer to live in a nice, calm, tidy, clean environment. It can be difficult to adopt this mindset. I think the only thing that kind of led me into sustaining this tidy as you go mentality was literally OCD. I'm not gonna lie, like, my OCD would literally tell me like, right, something really bad is gonna happen if you don't fold that towel, or something really bad is gonna happen if you don't like put this in a certain place, blah blah blah. So instead of kind of being like, oh my god, this is so annoying, I kind of harnessed onto that, to be honest, and I used that for good, and I actually used it in a way to keep my space clean. So even though that's a bit dysfunctional and probably not the best advice ever, it worked for me. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but you know. I feel like now though, I've gotten to a point where I'm not actually that bad with OCD, and I actually feel a bit more sane and level-headed, and I tidy because I want to tidy and want things to be clean, not necessarily because I think something bad will happen if I don't. So yeah, that was just the way that I got into it, but it really did help me to just adopt that mentality and just tidy everything as I go along, just to keep a clear mind, clear head. Okay, the fourth thing that I actually want to speak about is Notion. Now, me and Notion have had a very tumultuous relationship, a bit of a toxic relationship, should I say. Like, I don't really know why. It's very much one-sided because I feel like Notion does not give a shit, but I have had beef with Notion for the longest time because I've always found it to be so complicated and so overwhelming and overstimulating, and no matter how many videos or tutorials I've watched, it's kind of made matters worse and made me stress out so much, because I'm like, I can't wrap my head around this. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, all of these different habit trackers and planners and finance trackers, all of these different things and all the templates that you can have, it just really, really confused me and fucked with my head. And it made me so sad because I wanted Notion to work for me, and I wanted to have a space where everything is there. Like, I can journal on there, I can track my finances, I can do my to-do list, weekly to-do list, daily to-do list, all that kind of stuff. I wanted everything to be in one place, so it was stressing me out that I couldn't understand it. But I have been in this like weird toxic relationship with Notion for a while now, to the point where I've actually figured out how to use it in a way that complements me and in a way that works for me. So I was speaking to my friend not so long ago, and she was saying that she's just purchased the productivity planner thing by Grace Beverly, and this was something that I actually purchased last year, and I had big dreams, big visions, big goals. Like, it seemed so exciting when I bought this planner because I watched the video that went along with it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking exciting. Like, I am gonna change my life, everything's gonna be in one place. It didn't quite work out like that. Like, it was very stressful for me. I felt like there was just far too much information on there. There was so many things going on, and this is not to discredit her because she's fucking amazing. I really do respect her a lot, and I do always keep going back and buying her products, so I don't know what that's saying, but I just found it very chaotic and a lot to process for somebody who can wrap their head around Notion anyway. It really confused me, and my friend was Snapchatting me. She was showing me her Notion template, which is the one that I've got, and I bought it also last year, and I was getting like PTSD and war flashbacks because I was thinking, this is overwhelming. And when I tell you, I bought this planner and I filled it all out, I did the vision board, did everything like that, and I never looked at it again because I just forgot. And in fact, I didn't even forget, it was just a lot of work. It was so much work to go through all these things every single day. Like, I couldn't deal with it. So I was like dealing with these war flashbacks anyway. And I just was thinking to myself, I am so grateful because now I've got a system that works. I feel like I really took my time getting to the point of saying that I actually do like Notion now. But basically, I like Notion now. It really works for me because I have figured out a way to keep it so fucking simple and so tailored to me and what works for a sensitive and overwhelmed brain. So I have actually made a template and it's completely free. I'm going to share the link in the description, whatever. I might put it in the comments as well. Completely up to you if you want to use it, but this is being shared from love, and like I really want you guys to succeed and prosper because I just know how much I struggled with this. But basically, I've made this journal guide. Let me just show you it. I call it Your Name Safe Place because mine is called Sammy's Safe Place, and I made this back when I lived at home, like in my family home, and I felt like I wanted that like one space that felt like a safe place. It felt really nice where I could just like, I don't know, organize my life and everything like that because my actual life was a little bit chaotic. And I think this is why like I had such a toxic relationship with Notion, because I really wanted that to be my reality, but I just couldn't get it to work for me. I have now. So on this planner, I have basically just made it so fucking simple. Like I have stripped it back to the bare bones. This is all I use. I do have more sections on mine for like YouTube and content creation and stuff like that, which I haven't included on this because I don't know if you guys do content, but if you want me to like update it and put that on there for you, then I'm more than happy to. But I've got one section that is emotional health, and all that has in it, it says journal. Journal 2025. So you click on that and all you would do is literally just press new page. I wrote like little description, like instructions of how to use it as well. But you just click on new page, you title it whatever the fuck you want. I use like the same kind of titles in circulation for the same kind of thing. So if I just want to kind of like brain dump, I'll just call it brain dump, and then I'll do like a little icon of a brain. Or if I'm wanting to like offload my feelings, I'll call it feelings. And that is the one that I use most often. Most of my journal thing is just loads of red hearts and feelings. I just use that to journal. Like you just open a new page, name it quickly, and then you can just journal away, type away. You don't have to faff about clicking into loads of different things. So that really helps me because emotional health is very important to get off your chest and keep organized in a way for you to have a little bit of perspective and a bit of clarity and a bit of peace and ease. The next section is planners and trackers, and I've literally just got a section here. So the first one is notes and brain dumps. That's the same kind of purpose, just rename the templates. If you want to add more templates, you just hover over these little 6 dots and then press Command D, or I'm guessing if you're on Windows you do Control D. And then yeah, just like name them today's date or the week commencing date, and just write all of the random shit that is on your head, on your mind even, and just get it all off your chest. I kind of treat this as like a digital odd job drawer, like a random drawer that you put all the shit in. This is the digital version. So all the things that you think about that kind of have no place and would be written on little post-it notes everywhere or written all in different locations, you can just keep it all in one place, and that really, really, really keeps me sane on a day-to-day basis. Like I have to do a brain dump every single day, and if I've not done one for like a couple of days in a row, I feel like I'm going insane because there's just too many things going on in my mind. So yeah, I like to do this quite often. So that's that page. Okay, and then underneath we've got the weekly to-do list. So I just do this every Sunday. Like I'll set a reminder on my phone because otherwise I will forget. But I'll set a reminder on my phone just to kind of do an overview of whatever tasks that I didn't complete last week, just sort of drag them over, write down the new tasks that I want to get completed this week. And again, these are just like all different pages, just rename them with the week commencing date. And I've separated it into high priority, medium priority, and low priority. Pretty self-explanatory. Just organize all of your to-do list things into that. And then I have a daily to-do list page with loads of different pages in, and I again rename it. It's the same kind of template set up: high priority, medium, low priority. Just drag across the weekly things that you want to allocate to each specific day, and you can do that on a Sunday. You could literally have a to-do list for each day of the week and then just drag things along into whatever days that you think that you're going to do them. And then whatever you don't get done, you can just move it across. Like if you just press these little dots, these little 6 dots, and move, you can press move to, and then you just move it to the page that you're on like the next day, and it's moved. So you're not worrying a bit about like having these to-do lists where there's loads of things left on there not ticked off, because you're just moving them across anyway, and you're just going to do them at some point. Like you know you're going to do them at some point. So yeah. Oh, And I also, the last thing as well, which I did add on there as like a little cheeky bonus, but this has been really helping me. So I've got a page for routines, and I've got like morning, evening, but this isn't like a specific like timed routine of you need to do things at a certain time. I've literally just got in there, morning routine menu. I'll click in here, and in this, I literally just write down all of the different things that I want to include in my morning routine that will help me get closer to my goals, but I probably would forget if I didn't write them down in one place. But these are just all the things that I would like to do. I don't have to do all of them at all. Some days I will do one thing, other days I will do the whole list. It just really depends. But this keeps me accountable and it keeps me on track, and I know just from looking at this every morning, because I have another reminder reminding me to look at this every morning, I know just from looking at it that I can do these things and it will get me so much closer to my goals, even if I only do one thing. So that has really helped me. Rather than just having like routines, being like, right, you wake up at 5 a.m. and then at 5:05 a.m. you brush your teeth and then you go to the gym. And I've done all that before. I have ridden that rodeo, and it didn't work for me. It worked for a while, but then it just led to burnout and it was not effective. So yeah, that did sound like a lot of information, guys. I swear it's not as complicated as I probably explained it to be, because I feel like I have just word vomited all over you. But it is simple. It's just so simple, and the things that you can use on a regular basis, and it's not going to keep you feeling like you're completely tracking everything and like tracking your every single move. I really don't fuck with like a Notion habit tracker or a digital habit tracker. I find that to be very stressful, because it often like measures the progress and it shows you how many days in a row you've kept up this streak, and it makes it like this whole competitive like thing that you need to do, and you need to achieve something and accomplish something. And that's not my vibe. That's not the aim that I've got. Like, I just want to be feeling good. I want to be feeling healthy, and I don't need anything to measure my progress in that kind of way and tell me like, oh yeah, you're slacking in this area, you're slacking in that area. I just know. I know what I'm doing on a regular basis. And finally, I just wanted to mention that this whole organizational thing is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's not something that you're just like, right, I'm going to watch all these YouTube videos and I'm going to figure out exactly what works for me, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it religiously. It's not like that. And to be honest, if it was like that, it would be really fucking boring. Like, where's the fun in that? Where is the self-discovery and the self-exploration in that? Like, it's not fun. So it is a journey. It is gonna take some trial and error, seeing what works for you, what doesn't, not getting disheartened when things don't work for you, because not every single organization thing is going to work for you, including the things I'd speak about in this video. To be honest, like, it might not necessarily work for you, but if you feel like it resonates and you want to give it a go, I highly suggest that you do, and you just go in that direction of the things that you think will help. And if they help, great. If they don't, great, I can just move on to something else. You will get there in the end. It has taken me, I would say I've been on this journey like intentionally for the past couple of years, since like the beginning of 2023. And I've finally just gotten to the point now where I feel quite confident in my organizational routines, and I feel very organized. I feel very level-headed. I feel secure and calm. I can't really explain, but just know that you are definitely, inevitably going to have days that are not the best, and your hormones will be fluctuating. You'll be in your luteal phase. You'll just be irritated in general, like you've had a really shit day, shit night's sleep, whatever. And organization isn't going to be something that you want to do, and that's completely fine. We can still have our days where we rot and we don't really do anything and we don't give a shit about organization, because it's not the be all and end all. However, I would encourage that on your good days, on your high energy days, to really harness that and to lean into it and to actually put that energy to good use and organize your life a little bit. See what works out for you. Just trial and error it. Set systems up in place that are really going to set you up for success in the future when you're not having a great day and you're not feeling your best. It is the greatest favor that you can give to yourself, to just set up systems of organizational things that are going to make you feel a lot more grounded and a lot more calm. Because you can have a bad day, right? You can have a bad day in a nice, clean, organized environment, and you're still going to be having a bad day, but you're in a nice, clean, organized environment. You've got at least something to be grateful for in that moment. But if you're having a bad day, but you're also in a chaotic environment and your mind is chaotic as well, it's going to feel 10 times worse, and you're probably going to have a panic attack. Like myself, this is something that I have been struggling with in the chaos of the house renovation process. But it's okay, because we're getting there. We've got an organizational structure in place now, so that if I do have a bad day, I have something to lean on and it won't feel as horrific. I really hope that this video helped you in some kind of way, even if it was just like a little bit of companionship. If you're feeling a little bit lonely, you just wanted to watch a video and feel like you're chatting with a bestie or on FaceTime with your bestie. I just want to share the things that have really helped me on my journey of self-discovery and glowing up into the best version of myself, and I want you guys to come on this journey with me. I want you guys to feel empowered and really just feeling the best version of yourself, feeling like you're setting yourself up for the most success possible. I just really want that for you guys. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. If you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy the last video that I made as well. In a lot of my videos, I am talking to the sensitive, overly emotional girlies who just sometimes struggle to function the same way a normal person would. Someone who isn't so emotional, so deep and passionate and sensitive would. I just really want to help you guys. So yeah, you'll probably really enjoy that video as well, and the rest of my videos on my channel. But yes, I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you in my next video. Bye!